WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Members in the Jewish community are continuing to mourn after a gunman opened fire during the middle of a service last weekend in California. One person was killed, 3 others were injured. Our Quentin Smith, he speaks with members of the Jewish community here at home. Quentin, what are people saying?
Well, Scott, they're saying they're devastated and tired of seeing these incidents happen to their community. Each time the synagogues came under attack, congregations were right in the middle of morning services. Tonight, members are calling the attacks evil, senseless, and hateful. The tragedy may have happened on the West Coast, but it's being felt by many people right here in Mississippi.
Anytime some member is attacked, we all feel it. We all know that that could just as easily have been us. Doug Betzall has attended Temple B'nai Israel for more than 2 decades. In the past, having this type of attack happen while service was going on never even crossed their minds. But now, that's changed. You never think it's going to target you. At the same time, it's something that we're aware of, and as we see it happen, and it seemingly is happening more often, we're aware that it could happen to us. Betzall says he doesn't know why his community is being targeted, and it's that unanswered question that's continuing to cause a sense of uneasiness to linger. In this case, we don't have a clear answer of why, some way to explain it. So then it becomes a little bit more, in addition to the loss that you feel, addition to the targeting that you feel, there's also this lack of understanding. So some confusion that comes along, and it just adds to the troublesome nature of the whole situation. Betzall says one way to stop these evil attacks from happening is to spread more love throughout the world. But until then, he and his congregation are also looking at more physical answers. We have a security plan in place, and we have a security team. So I can't detail some of those measures that are in place, but we certainly have the security of our congregants in mind. The Jewish community has always prided itself on resilience. Now, Betzall says they'll continue to rely on that strength and each other to help them make light of such a difficult and dark time. Hopefully it sends a message to potential assailants and to the rest of society that, hey, we're a strong people. We're not going to be threatened by people who might want to see us disappear. At the same time, our doors are always open. Now, this marks the second time in 6 months that someone has opened fire at a synagogue. The gunman in this most recent attack, 19-year-old John Ernest, pleaded not guilty in court today. He's charged with 1 count of murder on a hate crime circumstance and 3 counts of attempted murder in connection to Saturday's shooting. Scott?
A lot of folks still hurting. Thank you very much for that report, Quentin. Time now to toss things over to meteorologist Jacob Riley to get a first look at our Tuesday forecast. Hey there, Jacob.
Hey there, Scott. Wednesday's tomorrow, but this Tuesday evening we did have a beautiful sunset out there. Special thanks to Miss Liz Guyton from Vernon, Alabama. If you have any weather pictures you'd like to send to us, go ahead and email them to us at weather@wcbi.com or just share them with us on social media. But another beautiful sunset out there across the region this Tuesday afternoon. Out there right now, pretty mild and muggy, sitting in the upper 60s to lower 70s. We've had a lot of storms back on off to our west. Not expecting that here. We have seen a few clouds. I'll let you know a little later in the show, Scott, when those rain chances begin to increase for our area.
The Monroe County Chamber of Commerce hosts its first ever Meet the Candidates Forum tonight. Our Cash Matlock, he attended the event. He joins us live in the studio with more on what the voters of Monroe County experienced there at the event tonight. Cash.
That's right, Scott. Well, the upcoming election in Monroe County will be one of the largest in recent history, with 57 candidates running for office. Now, voters from all over the county got to come out today and meet the candidates face to face. Political candidates and Monroe County voters filled the hangar at the Monroe County Airport for the same purpose, getting to know who's running for office.
So not only do we want people to meet their candidate, but we want to encourage people to vote in the primary and the general election, and if they haven't registered to vote, they can do that here tonight.
But meeting the candidates and registering to vote aren't the only things county residents got to learn about.
There are signs that signify the various districts, the voting precincts, so if you're not sure where do I vote, who am I voting for, all that information's here tonight.
The county has several other formal events and rallies throughout the year for political candidates, but this one is unique.
this is an opportunity for the voters to actually interact with the candidates directly and kind of determine what their position is on issues that are important to the voter.
Voters say the casual nature of the event will help with communication between elected officials and residents.
They may realize that there's issues that they didn't even realize existed.
And some voters think the event will help bring about change in some areas.
There are a lot of younger candidates coming on the scene, and we'll see what happens if some of them get elected, if they're able to bring about some change.
Anytime that there's competition, it makes everybody kind of step up their game.
Those we spoke with say they hope this event continues to happen in the future. The Monroe County primary elections are set to take place on August 6th. Scott?
Well, every year is an election year here in the Magnolia State. Money is the fuel that runs campaigns. Today is a fundraising deadline for those seeking statewide offices. Courtney Jackson has the breakdown.
Today is a campaign finance deadline. We asked Mississippi College political science professor Dr. Glenn Antizo what it means for you, the voters.
It's really early in the game. As I said before, I think it's just going to shake out who the serious choices are going to be in the primary.
On the Republican side, Tate Reeves had more than $6 million in 2 campaign accounts at the last filing and has spent big money on his first TV ad and another online ad recently. Bill Waller Jr. held a fundraiser in Jackson last night, and Robert Foster is continuing to travel the state and meet voters.
As far as the Republican side, I think it is going to be something that will shift momentum possibly in the race. I think Republicans will eventually come home to whoever wins the primary, but I think that this deadline may give people more of an idea of who realistically is going to have the best chance.
On the Democratic side, there are 9 folks running, but Jim Hood's campaign is putting out fundraising letters from former governors William Winter and Ray Mabus, and even made a last-minute social media plea for donations. He had just over $1 million at the last filing.
Hood, I think, is going to be anticipating the general election, and he's going to be looking to raise money for that, because as I said before, the primary for him is pretty much a done deal already.
Despite what the ads may suggest, Tate Reeves will not go head-to-head with Jim Hood in August. We're talking about primaries. That means you'll select if you want to vote on a Republican or Democratic ballot. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
New at 10 caseworkers with Wcbi County's Child Protective Services spend every day working with families and children. Today they asked others to walk with them. Now this is the second year for the Child Abuse Awareness Walk. They walked 4 laps around the Allen Hunter track there in Macon. Part of that awareness is understanding that child abuse can be emotional, sexual, or physical neglect. It is the role of the Child Protection Services to strengthen families and keep children safe.
The weather is going to stick around for tomorrow. Highs here in the middle to upper 80s across the area. Maybe a few showers to worry about. Coming up after the break, they'll let you know when that heavier rain returns to your forecast.
Our WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Jacob Riley.
Well, another beautiful sunset to another beautiful day. This time here on our Alpha Insurance time-lapse camera out of Louisville, you see that sun sink in the sky, bringing us some pretty orange and purples across the sky this evening. We are going to see those warmer temperatures tomorrow, but out to our west, it's been a pretty rocky day for them. Those red dots you see, those are reported tornadoes across the states of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. And if that's not crazy enough, back on off it towards Wyoming and Nebraska, they're actually under winter storm warning. So this is a very complex system. Luckily, it's not going to bring any severe weather to our area. It is going to increase our winds as we go throughout the rest of our night tonight. Winds around 7 to 10 miles an hour. It's going to be muggy. Overnight lows there in the upper 60s. Muggy once again for your Wednesday as well. We're going to top out in the middle 80s, 84 degrees your daytime high in Tupelo, 83 in Pontotoc, and as well there in Aberdeen. West Alabama, a little bit warmer down towards Aliceville. We'll top out at 85, 84 degrees there in Vernon. We will see some spotty showers possible as we go throughout the afternoon. Golden Triangle region, you're going to be right around that 87 87, 85 degree mark, 86 there in Ackerman. Winds are going to be gusty for your Wednesday as well, so you may want to hold on to your hats as you head out the door for your Wednesday, especially during the afternoon hours. There are those sustained winds there around 10 to 15 miles an hour. This is throughout the day on Wednesday. I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a few gusts upwards closer to 20 to 25 miles an hour. There are those clouds tonight as we go on later throughout the day on your Wednesday. Futurecast is showing that we could see a few breaks in that, a few showers possible for Wednesday. Thursday, though, that's when we're going to see another round begin to move on into our area. Those showers and storms I was showing you across Oklahoma, those are being caused by a cold front. That's going to lag on off to our west, and it's going to bring us several rounds of rain lasting on into your Friday as well. We have the Market Street Festival this Saturday here in Columbus. It looks like we could have some scattered showers and storms for that, but as Sunday rolls around, that will begin to move on out. So this weekend, there's a lot going on. Be sure you keep that rain jacket and umbrella on standby, because it looks like that rain is going to stick around, unfortunately. So in terms of rain, most of our area could see anywhere between 1 to 2 inches of rain. With some of those heavier showers and storms, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit closer to 2 inches before all is said and done. But overall, your 7-day forecast not looking too shabby. We have those rain showers lasting on throughout the weekend. I know Friday and Saturday, that's when we have graduation at Mississippi State, so you may want to bring your umbrella to that as well. But as we move on into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week, you see Sunday and Monday are looking nice, nothing but sunshine there for your Monday. As we head into Tuesday, though, it looks like we will begin to see another system begin to slowly approach its way to our area. That could bring us a few showers. Highs are going to remain warm, though, staying there in the middle 80s.
Well, speaking of Saturday, the Market Street Festival takes over downtown Columbus this weekend, and that can only mean one thing: somebody is going to win a car. WCBI's Crank It Up contest is back, and some lucky person will get the key that cranks up a made-over Nissan Xterra, and it could be Lorraine Walker from Macon. She qualified at Columbus Nissan to get the chance to pick a key. Good luck to Lorraine and all of our qualifiers, and be sure to come out to the Market Street Festival to find out who will crank it up. All right, well, when we come back, we've got a pretty possum story that'll make you feel pretty doggone good. Stay with us.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back. A 2-year search for a missing canine companion has a happy ending in West Point. Our Jory Talley was there for the reunion.
Tuesday is the first time since 2017 that Quintara Hammonds and her long-lost pup, Lady Chanel, have seen each other.
Oh, finally, after 2 years. Finally. I never thought that I was going to get her back, and it was literally breathtaking because this was my baby. So I was like, hopefully she remembers me. Hopefully she's okay.
Lady Chanel first came into Hammond's life when she adopted her from a humane society in Birmingham, Alabama.
She was incredible. Everything that I needed as far as laying up in the bed with me when I was having bad days, when we would go out to the park, meet other dogs, go to my daughter's. She went to every day we have drop-off, and she was the dog that was in the drop-off.
Hammonds got an unexpected call from an unexpected place last week about Lady Chanel.
Little dog was rescued from the side of the road, along with another dog who apparently is not in any way connected. But we managed to get both of them, and one of the things that we do as part of our intake procedure is check for microchips.
I called everybody. I was like, you all would not believe this. My dad was like, what are you talking about? And my mom was screaming out. She was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
The mystery of how Lady Chanel ended up all the way over in West Point from Birmingham still remains.
I was so scared, and thank God she's microchipped.
But one thing we do know is that a dog mom and her furry friend are finally back together.
It touches all of us because you can't help but put yourself in that situation. Your own pet disappears, and this chance of a lifetime to get that pet back that was actually stolen, according to the owner, is just phenomenal.
And we love that story. Now, Will is the other dog that was found with Lady Chanel on the side of the highway. He's now up for adoption at the West Point Clay County Animal Shelter. Well, a microchip is what reunited that dog with her furry friend. Microchips, They don't have GPS tracking, but it is a good way to ensure that you find your lost pet. It comes in handy if your dog gets out of the house or it's fenced or gets picked up by someone else and is taken to the animal shelter. If your pet is chipped, it can help shelters and vets identify who the pet belongs to.
There's actually a way we can scan your dog with this little microchip reader, and your name and stuff will come up and you'll be able to contact you instead of them, if they lost their collar. A lot of people think just the collar with the rabies tag is going to do it, but a lot of dogs that get out and run off, they will probably lose their collars, and the microchip's the only way, because the microchip can't come out. We actually inject it under the skin microchip in this syringe. What we would do is hold her skin.
Emerson says microchipping is for all types of pets. She says they're inexpensive, and you register yourself with the microchip online with all of yours and your pet's information. One more spot left in the high school softball North Half Finals. Who would take it, Smithville or Myrtle? Highlights coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
Mississippi State baseball is off to one of its best starts in school history, and when playing some of your program's best ball, you'd want a full schedule. The Bulldogs remained below 56 regular season games for much of the season due to a cancellation with Nebraska, but now it's back to a full slate, and it's for a good cause. The Bulldogs baseball adding Louisiana Tech to its schedule, pitting the matchup from May 14th. Admission into the game is free, but the Salvation Army will be on site collecting donations to support Ruston and Louisiana Tech in the wake of devastating tornadoes that touched down last week. First pitch is set for 6:30. The NCAA Tennis Championships begin this weekend, and the 1 seed in the men's singles resides in Starkville. Nuno Borges securing the #1 seed, the first Bulldog to do so since Marco Barron did it back in 2001. Mississippi State will host the first 2 rounds of the tournament. Matches beginning Friday with the Bulldogs facing Alabama State around 1 p.m. The ICC Indians clinched the MAC-JC State Baseball Championship. The Indians defeating Mississippi Delta in a doubleheader, 9-4 in Game 1 and 5-2 in Game 2. It's ICC's first regular season championship since 2009. Myrtle Lady Hawks taking on Smithville with a shot at a North Half final. Myrtle winning Game 1, Smithville needing to win 2. Great start for the Lady Noles. Orlandria Smith with an inside the park homer. Look at her show off the wheels. That brings home 3. It's 5-2 Smithville. They'd be up 7-2 in the middle of the second, but here come the Lady Hawks. Allie Smith with a base hit to left. That brings home a run, so it's a 4-run ball game. And then in the bottom of the 5th, Brianna Smith takes one for a ride to left field. Sayonara softball. It's a 7-4 ball game. But in the top of the 6th, Smithville says anything you can do, I can do better. Annie Brooke Morgan with a solo home run of her own. Smithville goes on to win Game 1, 10-4, and that would force a deciding Game 3. And in that Game 3, whenever Smithville softball is involved, it's usually crazy, but the Lady Noles get it done. They get the win in Game 3, 19-15 over Myrtle. Smithville was up 15-4 in the 5th inning until an insane rally from Myrtle forced the game to go later. So great rally from the Lady Hawks, trying to come back in this one, but Smithville gets it done on your Tuesday to advance to the North Half Final. They'll take on Pine Grove for the semifinal. Let's take a look at all the North Half finals for softball. For our area, 4A and 5A, Lafayette taking on Neshoba Central in the 5A North Half final. In 4A, Tisch County taking on Kosciuszko. Then in 2A and 3A. In 3A, Houston versus South Pontotoc. That's a heavyweight softball matchup for our area if we've seen one so far. And then in 2A, Eupora, an impressive series win over East Union yesterday. They advanced to take on Philadelphia in the 2A North Half final. And then 1A, Smithville versus Pine Grove. You just saw how the Lady Knowles advanced to the North Half final. And then Ethel versus Vardaman in 1A South. Vardaman in the South, if you got the answer, I'm still looking for it from football season. But hey, the Lady Rams with a chance to take on Ethel and possibly advance to a 1A state championship game in softball. Then in baseball, the third round in North Half. 6A, Oxford taking on DeSoto Central. These games beginning on Thursday. 5A, Saltillo versus Lewisburg. No, that should be Lafayette versus Lewisburg and Ridgeland versus Saltillo. Sorry about that. It's Lafayette versus Lewisburg, Ridgeland taking on Saltillo. Then in 4A, Ripley taking on Pontotoc, New Hope taking on Amory. That's your 4A third round. Then 3A, North Pontotoc versus Houston, and Boonville and Kossuth battling for a shot at the North Half final. Then 2A and 1A. For 2A North, East Union taking on Calhoun City in a heavyweight battle for high school baseball. Ingomar taking on Lake. Then 1A, Smithville versus CPS. And then Biggersville and West Union. That's 1A North. Then we'll go to 1A South, another heavyweight matchup. The defending champion Nanawaya Warriors taking on the Hamilton Lions. And that is your playoff picture for the third round. All these for baseball beginning on Thursday, softball beginning on Friday. Hopefully weather permitting and behaves this week. We can get some really good playoff action at the high school level. That's it for sports. The last of 3 forecasts is here.
Rain chances are going to begin to go up if you're headed out to Market Street Festival there on Saturday. You may want to bring that umbrella or rain jacket. Sunday, though, that does begin to clear on out of here, and then by Monday, that sunshine returns, and it's going to be pretty warm. Scott, the coldest it's going to be for highs is there on Saturday, a high of 78, and we're going to keep those 80s around as we head back into next week.
It's going to back right back up into almost summer-like temperatures.
The mugginess is back.
Ooh, all right. Well, you know what that's like. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.